This edition of the Wrestle-Cast is dedicated to the memory of Antonio Inoki. This is a presentation of RVT Entertainment.
Hey, yo.
You know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true.
Because I'm better than you, and you know it.
In the back, there are men and women, seasoned professionals, dudes paid in full, gunning to be the best.
We're wrestlers in a wrestling ring. Let's just freaking wrestle.
The cream of the crop! Nobody does it better.
Hey, hi, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wrestle-Cast, presented by RVT Entertainment on Podomatic, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever else you may find this fine audio recording. And live on RVT Entertainment's official Twitch.tv channel. We talk about professional wrestling both in the mainstream and the independent scene. My name is Matty Jay, that is a TWK.
What a week!
You're kidding me. Both good and bad. Just straight up. And you're in the States. What a week is an apt description. I live in Quebec. There's a provincial election to which the actual voting happens on Monday. What a week is yeah. That is the proper statement to make. By the way, for those wondering why I'm not introducing Shintigercurl, he is under the weather, unfortunately. Whatever he caught on Thursday stayed up or came back. I don't know what's going on. We hope to have him the next show. And I say the next show because we will get into the specifics in a few minutes there. Actually, I may as well get to it now. I mean, what a week. Yeah. I can't go into specifics as to all of the reasons why, but suffice it to say with everything that's going on next weekend, there will not be a Wrestle-Cast next weekend. The idea was to move it to Friday, and then I realized I don't want to do that because I actually want to watch SmackDown because it's a go-home show, and under Triple H, we might actually have good go-home shows again. Also...
What? No, that's the suck.
Shut up, old man. Go push iron again. Go pump iron again. Because America hates making sense. It's like, why is Australia a country that elections on weekends? I have no idea. I guess people don't want to work on weekends. You know, to be fair, I like having my weekends off. Just saying. We're not taking the. So long story short, it's Canadian Thanksgiving weekend next weekend, and originally the thought was, hey, we might do the show and just talk about Extreme Rules as it airs. I would have had the network on a alternate screen, so if something big happens, we could literally react to it as it happens. However, because of Thanksgiving. Sister and my sister and brother-in-law, they're coming over. They wanted to go Sunday, but they got invited to the in-laws for Thanksgiving for that dinner. So they're doing that on Sunday and said, hey, can we do a dinner on Saturday? And we all agreed, well, sure, why not? Grant, the brother-in-law in question, cool dude, loves his football, watches WWE. And actually, he's been noticing the uptick in quality as of late. So, we were talking about Extreme Rules, and we realized, wait, you're coming here on Saturday, which is a Thanksgiving dinner, so that's strike one on doing the show on time. Extreme Rules, he wants to watch it. I happen to just have a Sportsnet now for the WWE Network. How about we go downstairs, go watch on the big 80-inch screen thing, have our version of what American Thanksgiving would be. Whole lot of food and sports stuff. It replaces sports with, sports entertainment, of course. Am I wrong in my assumption here? I think it's a good idea.
Seems fine to me.
It's not often I get to go downstairs and skip the family, but part of the family wants to go downstairs and watch the pay-per-view. That's something. So, yeah. And Friday with SmackDown and Rampage and Battle of the Belts all happen. That's 4 hours of wrestling. I don't want to detract from that. I mean, if it was Vince McMahon era SmackDown, fuck that. We're at 8:30 no matter what. But now I'm like, it's getting good.
You may actually watch something that'll make you sports entertained.
And if all else fails, Rampage, AEW will deliver with that Battle of the Belts. And Rampage as well. So,
And I believe both those hours are live, correct?
I believe I think both of them might be. Yeah, we might. We may need to verify that, but yeah.
I know at least Rampage is live.
We must verify that. We're not doing a clip of the week either because there's too much stuff to talk about. But are we live next week? Are we? Is it going to be live? Is it live today? I'm not seeing any news pertaining to that. Should be, though. Wouldn't be surprised.
Tune in to find out.
Well, either way, it should be fun. And so, yeah, long story short, I'm on the call yesterday and discussing all that stuff. Mace, friend of the show, of course, he goes, don't just take the fucking weekend off. I'm like, you know what? Fine. That seemed like a fine idea. So that's what we're doing. We're gonna be off for a couple weeks. It'll obviously give Shin more time to recover. And we got the review a wrestling show next week. So that's not the worst thing that could happen. So we'll be off next weekend, and I'm gonna enjoy the weekend and watch some wrestling with family and all that good stuff. And we'll be back the week after. More stuff on the road to more good stuff AEW-wise, and on the road to Ranger Stop, which will be another weekend off. Well, I said if I don't feel like doing it, or if there's something that precedes this, we're doing it. So there you go. Well, I'm fulfilling that promise at the very least. Now, we got the stuff out of the way. And we'll get the rest of the plugs for later. I'm definitely going to stay busy. Don't worry about me. But we have to talk about what started at the beginning of the show, as I forget to get the main card. There we go. All the links and all that stuff in there. Yeah, we got to talk about Antonio Inoki, who passed away last night. I saw Antonio Inoki trending, not R.I.P. Antonio Inoki, just straight up hashtag Antonio Inoki, and thought, do I want to deal with this right now? No. And I decided to do something else. Until I found out he passed away. That's about, yeah. Ow. That's a thing.
Yeah, and for those who are unaware of Antonio Inoki, he led quite the career in the world, just not wrestling, but just world in general, because
He had a life. He had a life. He was a member of parliament in Japan.
Yeah, yes, he was.
Transferring from wrestling to political life. People say, oh, he pulled Jesse Ventura. No, he pulled a better than Jesse Ventura. He was more than successful.
Well, up until he did the whole North Korea show, that ended up tanking his career.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, he did that while in Parliament, and that did not go over well with the people of Japan.
Nope. No,
Yeah.
sir.
Both him and Giant Baba were basically the founders of the two biggest wrestling companies in Japan, New Japan and All Japan, respectively.
Yeah, let's put it this way. Those two guys don't exist as they are. No All Japan, no New Japan, and no All Japan, no Pro Wrestling Noah. No precursor to MMA.
Yeah. Ironically, New Japan is the older promotion.
By what, couple years, something like that.
Sounds about right.
It's not by that much.
And both of them, both Inoki and Baba, were students of wrestler Ricky Dozan.
And if you don't know who Ricky Dozan is, Google it.
Yeah, and they
just straight up. We ain't taking the time. There is a lot of stuff to do tonight, and just a lot of stuff to unpack there. Both good and bad. Both good and bad.
Yeah. Our words could not do Antonio Inoki's career in life proper justice. Obviously, in the mid 2000s, his popularity kind of went down in New Japan due to him.
It's very weird. He was the Hulk Hogan of New Japan in a sense, and in the best ways possible. There's a little bit of bad. You might have heard of the term Inokiism. Well, he thought MMA was the way of the future. While he was not wrong, people tuning into professional wrestling, some of them might. There's obviously overlap in MMA, but not everyone was interested in MMA. Didn't they want to see MMA stars in their wrestling? They didn't want to see wrestling stars in their MMA.
And on top of that, Inoki did have quite a few relatively green MMA fighters go over some of his top pro wrestlers, which didn't exactly sit well with some of the members, not only of the audience, but of the roster as well. So
yeah, let's put it this way. The IWGP Heavyweight Championship, that's a lot of prestige right there. Yeah, he almost tanked it with his love of MMA. So,
yeah,
I said, not a whole lot of bad, but the bad was bad.
Definitely a complicated legacy at the end, but it was good to see that in the final few years of his life, New Japan and Inoki were able to mend fences.
At the very least, and it's one of those Ultimate Warrior situations where New Japan and Antonio Inoki just were at odds, period. And the fact that they actually said, hey, let's just, water on the bridge. You're not working for us. We're not working for you. But you still created this whole company. Let's at least pay tribute to you a little bit. That's pretty much what they did. And they were smart with that, by the way. They were intelligent enough. Both sides were intelligent enough to recognize at least that. So there is at least that. And, that, of course, when you talk about Antonio Inoki, you think of, obviously, what we just discussed. But in internet virality, there's really two, and a third one that I discovered earlier last night, really. Obviously, the first one is the video Bill Burr commented over with, which was Antonio Inoki versus the Great Antonio. And there's a little bit of local flair to that because Le Grand Antonio, or Great Antonio, he's a French-Canadian legend, believe it or not.
Oh, man, that Great Antonio, he bit off more than he could chew with that match.
Great Antonio has a propensity to no-sell because he thinks he's a giant. And to be fair, he was a big dude. He was a big dude, and he was a strong man for the time.
However, Mr. Inoki, bigger dude.
Bigger dude, taller dude, more athletic dude, and could fuck you up dude. And for those who saw the match, it's one of those moments where Antonio Inoki went from happy-go-lucky to fuck you up in a snap of a second once he realized Great Antonio just did not believe in the word selling.
Yeah, if you thought people in Japan nowadays hated no-selling, imagine back then when they were actually trying to 100% protect the business at all costs. And they see no-selling, that's basically red alert alarm, fuck this person up immediately.
There's a reason why a lot of people like their technical graps in Japan. And Great Antonio pretty much decided to no-sell like a big dude when really he just, wobble a little bit. If okay, he could have wobbled. Could have said, "Ow, nope, hello," and the third one, bomb, and he fucking bled. So that's one. The other one is if speaking of slaps, I think it was part of his retirement ceremony where he decided to do a charity thing.
Of slaps?
The line of people lining up I think it was at the Tokyo Dome on that big stage, and slap after slap after slap after slap.
Oh, Jesse has a good one. Opponent no sells. Ah, you have chosen death then.
Yeah, pretty much. Although Grand Antonio just, no, I chose money. And, he wanted to protect himself. And, he's still a folk legend in Quebec, but that's about it. More of a joke, to be fair. That being said, the lines of slap, slap, or slap, and then the third one I discussed, it was literally, obviously in tribute, there's videos of him wrestling, videos against Vader, and a slew of opponents. And then there's this one video that's candid camera style. Dude's dressed as a Spider-Man thing with a hoodie and all that stuff. Crashes through like I don't know what it is called, but a ceiling, a fake ceiling. Throws spider webs, and the first reaction Antonio Inoki has after being shocked, slaps the fuck out of him. If that does not explain who Antonio Inoki is in like one video, I don't know what does.
And here's some of the wrestlers that he's trained. Mm-hmm. Just a small sample.
This is a small list.
Let's see here. The first Tiger Mask, Hiroshi Hase, Keiji Muto, aka the Great Muta.
You might have heard of him.
WWE Hall of Famer Tatsumi Fujinami. And you may have heard of some of these other people like Rocky Romero.
Yep.
And, not sure, this guy might be a little too obscure, but a guy by the name of Shinsuke Nakamura.
He did. Back in that dojo. The King of Strong style. There's a reason why he called that knee the Bomaye. It's complex, but it is related to Inoki.
Inoki Bomaye!
Yep.
In fact, that celebration Matty was talking about was called Inoki Bomaye.
Yeah, that's what it was, yeah. It was like his retirement thing. They had a whole wrestling show, and what part of the attractions was that line of everybody that wanted to get bitch slapped by Inoki. And they were happy to do it. Even Red Shoes was in there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, someone was wearing red bands. Anyway, red armbands or wristbands. Could have been. I don't know. Like, I couldn't verify it myself. And I'm not a journalist. And unlike some people on the internet, I am not a journalist. So I'm not going to make that research for you.
Yep. Point remains, though, Antonio Inoki led quite the legacy, and he will be remembered for a long time. And the world of wrestling would be very, very different without him.
The word legend, it does tend to get overused at times. Not with Antonio Inoki. He is legitimately a legend.
Yeah, this guy has ingrained himself in Japanese pop culture very similarly to the likes of El Santo in Japan and in Mexico.
Pretty much, yeah. Same diff. Except there are a few other guys that share that same thing in Japan. Of course, you brought up Giant Baba, Ricky Dozan. Those three don't exist. Japanese pro wrestling as we know it doesn't exist. So
definitely not as we know it right now.
Absolutely.
And I can't remember. I believe it was Enigma who brought up in the chat. No Inoki, no New Japan, no New Japan, no Bullet Club, no AEW.
Because no Bullet Club, no Elite. And no Elite, no All In, no AEW. So, yeah.
It's weird, just the butterfly effects that occur in our lives. Like that one little thing ends up having massive changes down the line.
Huge.
So yeah, if you want to know more about Inoki, please do some research on him. very, very
And lots of
fascinating.
matches. Some of those matches are actually pretty decent.
He's
Obviously, for the
legendary.
time, it's sign of the time kind of situations, but just listen to it for the pops the man gets.
Yep. He was definitely the man of the time. Press going to other news. Tony Khan did an interview earlier this week, knowing that nobody's getting released. Nobody.
So yeah, no one's getting released. So basically, Malachi Black and Buddy Matthews, sabbatical, straight up.
Yeah, and Malachi actually went onto his Instagram Live to say he is not trying to leave AEW. He just wants some time away to deal with his personal life. That is all.
That's it. It's what we discussed last week. It's like, well, look, release, conditional release, whatever. It's literally he needs time for his mental health. But the fact they had to go back on Instagram, pissed off as all hell, tell every mark going, shut the fuck up. I just need time off.
And what really annoyed him, what really got him off, was the fact that he had received death threats that day.
Those people need to fucking fuck off.
Seriously, just let the man live.
Like, I literally just went on a Twitter rant last night because I binged the last 8 episodes of Dino Fury, which had been released the same week. So I was like, all right, bit of SmackDown, bit of a Rampage, and then a couple hours of Power Rangers. And I go on Twitter, and there are some fucking marks out there, dude, who do not belong in the
I just
fandom.
ignore those people. I just ignore those people.
Same
it
here.
makes my life
Same
so
here.
much easier to live.
Because a lot of the reaction from the was very positive. Just 1 or 2 tweets that just were fucking idiot wrong, and it's the same thing here. I just decided as I'm happy, and then these douchebags happen, and I just put a video of zero punctuation. You may as well at this point. I'm going to be positive. You may as well flood my email, you miserable fanboy twat. And the video, and then it just the words "Go fuck yourself" crashing down. To those people, go fuck yourself.
Indeed.
Malachi, if you're listening, I hope you're not. But if you're listening, dude, we got nothing to do with those marks. Go, rest, relax, be with wife the couple of days she's back at home.
Yeah, to Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, best of luck with them getting their personal lives in order as best they can.
And then come back and kick all the asses.
Yep. Brody King and fucking goddamn it, why is my mind blanking?
Julia Hart.
Julia Hart. They'll hold down the House of Black until they return.
Hell yeah. Also, thank you for not leaving and keeping your match versus Miro on the table, because goddamn, we still need to see that.
Also, when Miro was asked, why aren't you wrestling in these past few weeks? Miro's response was, nobody has the balls to challenge him.
To be fair, he's not half wrong either.
I just love that. I love how he's able to keep that in character.
Beautiful.
So next we have more White Rabbit teases this past week, and it's looking more and more like it has to be Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, there was the military spelling of Bel-Air that was thrown into one of those videos, and obviously is it Bel-Air's, or is it something related to Bel-Air, or is it a red herring? Yeah, at this point, it's 90% Bray Wyatt at this point.
I would be shocked if it isn't, and according to most sources, it seems like the reveal will more likely than not happen at Extreme Rules, which seems about right because you don't want this to drag on for too long.
Yeah, this is one of those, and it's poopy season. It's Halloween. It only makes sense that they debut him here.
We don't want another Veer situation.
No. And the way they've been handling it with viral marketing and everything else, beautiful.
Could not agree more. And what else is beautiful is the return of Candace LeRae on Monday Night Raw, joining her husband, Johnny Wrestling.
I popped for that one a little bit, not gonna lie. That was a nice little thing. And a side thing, yeah, she beats Nikki ASH, who out of frustration just rips her mask off, throws it away. So we get Candace LeRae, and then Nikki ASH with a character turn in the process. Nice. I love it. I love those situations where you get 2 birds, 1 stone.
She's not the only one doing a character turn because on SmackDown, LA Knight seems to be returning very soon.
Oh,
yeah.
He's been teasing that the last few weeks. Takes it like it's literally he headbutts one of the, I think it was Monsoir. Goes, okay, that's it. This ain't for me. Throws the belt that had an M on it. Yeah. Folks,
Yeah.
main roster Eli Drake or LA Knight, of course, but it's basically Eli Drake with WWE coding.
And once he gets a championship, that is not an insult. That is a fact of life.
The promos alone. The promos alone are gonna.
Did you say promo?
What the fuck
Well,
did I do?
what a segue.
Oh wow. Okay.
Because here's something that I believe in.
All right.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
He debuted for Impact. I saw the video you guys saw on the Rift Zone. They are doing Joe Hendry correctly.
And I'd like to give a
And
shout
I
out.
love it. I love it.
And I'd like to give a shout to the Fightful podcast that covers Impact Wrestling. They have the exact same idea that I had while watching this. Joe Hendry is going to debut Bound for Glory and take the digital media title from Brian Myers. That's what they're predicting.
That's perfect. It's perfect. And the
Brian
champion,
Myers
and for those
said-
wondering, for those thinking, it's the digital media title, lol, it's a throwaway. Not really. They have a large presence on social media and the internet. The digital title makes sense, and considering the people who have wrestled for it and they have won it, I am okay with that.
By the way,
That's a perfect first championship for them.
but Bound for Glory is happening this same weekend as Extreme Rules and Battle of the Belts.
Yeah, I'm glad we're not doing the show next week now.
Yeah, it seems like all of the wrestling is happening
that-
next week. All of it.
Jesus Christ! It just taking the time off just to relax and enjoy the weekend and with family. Yeah, we would not have enough time.
Also on this week's Impact, we saw Ali Catch versus Masha Slamovich in a Monsters Ball match, and it lived up to expectations.
Those two went to literal war against each other, and it was brutal and it was beautiful.
And all I have to say is after this match, I hope they sign Ali Catch. I
They
do
need
hope
to.
sometime in the very near future they sign her because she would be an excellent addition to that roster.
That roster already has a great stacked women's division. Alley Catch could only add to that. That would be a score if they could pull that off. But for those wondering, Alley Catch, the former Alley Cat for you indie wrestling fans out there, she just added a few letters to it. Really,
Yes. And up to a company that seems to be taking small steps to improve their division so far. Small, tiny steps.
yeah.
That being AEW. They were live on Dynamite this week from...
Are we already there? We're there already. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Yes, sir.
Unfortunately, when it's just the two of us, we kind of end up blowing through a lot
Yeah,
of these.
it is. I said it before the show. So if we only go under 90 minutes, no big deal. It's just the two of us, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, sometimes that's just what happens.
That's what
when
it
it's
is.
in a
Lots of
hurry.
stuff to discuss, and then we discuss it. And if it just falls under an hour, sorry, folks, we did what we could.
We still got plenty to go through when it comes to
Oh
recapping
yeah,
this
oh
stuff.
yeah.
So as I said, Dynamite from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Start off with the JS celebrating Chris Jericho, who is now officially known as the Ocho.
Has a shirt and everything, and I am tempted to get said shirt.
And Excalibur with a nice comment. The rug really ties the room together. Seems to do that, Excalibur. I like it.
Big Lebowski, love it.
And I wish Stone was here because when Chris Jericho put the bucket hat on Garcia, oh my God, he looked even more like Marky Mark. Jesus Christ.
It did not help at all.
It's like the Funky Bunch has officially reunited with this.
I understand, but there's a part of me that's disappointed. I had a perfect way to get the gag going for Shin.
I think we all did.
I was like, I need to introduce his Marky Mark impression to our dog, to my sister's dog, June Carter Cash. That would have been perfect.
Oh yes, very, very much so. Gee, just Please
For
get
next,
well
for
soon,
next
Shane.
week. For next week.
Oh, yes. Anyways, Garcia did not like the hat. He grabs it, slowly takes it off his head, and the moment he throws it on the ground, huge pop.
Yeah. And Jericho's, I want you to think very carefully. But
Hold on,
he's been
before
trying
that,
to, yeah.
Before that, he immediately knocks out Luigi Primo.
Who got a hell of a heel pop, heel reaction, too.
So, Mr. Luigi Primo, where'd you make the pizza? For some reason, yes.
Jericho went full Italian, and Luigi
that was
Primo.
Matt Bernard.
Oh, that was Matt Menard. Yeah, well, yeah, Matt Menard had the accent no matter what. Best from New York.
Yes, I made it the best of pizza from New York. Huge boo from Philadelphia, and every member of the JS was like, "Do you want pizza? You can't have any."
Boo!
It's like every member of them said that, except for Garcia. He's the only one who didn't betray the pizza, except for when he threw it on the ground.
Because he wanted to be sports entertaining, you know?
Either that, or maybe he wanted to be a member of Lonely Island.
Sure.
I take the pizza and I threw it on the ground.
Like a boss.
But before, as you noted, Jericho asked him, "Are you a pro wrestler or sports entertainer?" But before he could answer, out came Danielson, who said, "Do whatever you want to do. Be a wrestler or sports entertainer. It's all up to you." Jericho did not take kindly to that.
I was like, I own Daniel Garcia, and Garcia said, "Bitch, you don't owe you do not own shit."
And Matt Menard didn't take too kindly to that, and he wants to fight Danielson, to which Danielson said, "Well, Tony Khan said I could fight anyone I want tonight, so want a match?" So they have match.
So it's for people expecting the reveal to be like, okay, Garcia's done. Not full on there yet, but progression. It's boiling, folks.
One of my notes. Let's see here. One of my notes here says Regal calls Excalibur a Rice Krispie treat.
Folks. Eventually, someone's gonna pipe up on Twitter going, "Oh, just hurry up and fuck already." I'm not gonna be it. I'm just saying. I'm just calling. It's what's going to happen.
More likely than not. Also, Danielson's music plays at the beginning of the match for some reason.
Yeah, the Music Man was off his mids.
Possibly. Or that, or just a little too excited. Maybe he likes the songs too much. He was like, "I don't need a jam to it. I need a jam to it."
No. Man, just looking to be on Botchamania.
Could be that as well. Nevertheless, despite all the shenanigans from the Jericho Appreciation Society, thanks to Claudio coming out and carrying away Cool Hand Ange.
After a hell of an uppercut, mind you.
Indeed. Danielson was able to pick up the win with a butt ugly knee.
Or the Psycho knee.
Boo Psycho. Which is literally
Psycho. Okay.
Which is literally Japanese for butt ugly.
Fair. Like on commentary, you just hear the Psycho knee or something like so. Boo Psycho knee. All right.
Boo Psycho. The Boo Psycho knee!
Fair enough.
Then we get a promo package hyping up Juice versus Mox. Following that, Yuta heads to the ring and calls out MJF.
Better promo this week. He mad. He mad.
Yeah, he got to show some enthusiasm, and he wasn't in MJF's hometown, so that helped.
That home stayed more like, but yeah, that definitely helped. Philly was not too kind to him though, but they warmed up to him eventually.
A lot better than New York because once again, home territory.
Yep.
MJF came out wearing a Mets jersey. That got a lot of heat.
Oh, there's a video of him, I think, between commercials doing the Meet the Mets song. And I'm like, heat. Also, I follow the sports memes. The Meet the Mets song it's great, vanilla, but when you know how the Mets lose, it becomes a meme, and him singing that is so ironic. It's not even funny.
Well, I know Solomonster is a huge Mets fan, lifelong, And he has noted how terrible and how many controversies they've had over their life, over their existence. Like, the Mets are just
the glory of Mets baseball, Ed Luz Diaz.
basically one of the worst teams in the MLB.
Yeah.
But the fans still show up because it might just be their year. It won't be.
I wonder. I know the Blue Jays made the playoffs there. Let me see if they did. Hold on. Let me ask Google here real quick there. Let me ask the Google. Have the Mets made the baseball? The playoffs? It's not saying anything because I muted it. Playoff pictures. Are the Mets? Will it make sense? I have the Houston Astros, New York Mets, and Braves, New York Yankees are followed next. So they are in the playoff picture for now.
All righty then.
Fair enough.
Well, before Yuta could get his hands on MJF, the Guns came out to back him up. And MJF was like,
Ash boys.
yeah, the Guns didn't take too kindly to those chants, and MJF didn't take too kindly to the crowd. So he's like, fuck this. You guys say my phrase. They don't deserve it.
So it's booked for next week.
Yep, next week, MJF versus Wheeler Yuta. And the Guns then comply with MJF and say his catchphrase for him.
And they didn't fuck it up.
Wow, surprise. They actually...
Golf clap.
Then we got a Team Lethal promo calling out Darby. So next week, Jay Lethal versus Darby Allin.
Looking very much... And that's the anniversary show in Washington, D.C., so that's going to be a thing.
Oh, yes. And then I noticed a sign in the crowd that said, trust the Moxess. Get it like process, but Moxley?
Probably a 76ers thing. Basketball reference.
No, it's a reference to John Moxley.
Well, I know it's a reference to Bob Moxley. Trust the process is something with the Philadelphia 76ers.
I'll take your word for that. So, Moxley versus Juice, it was probably the worst match of the night. These two have definitely had better matches together.
They've had better matches together. I don't know what happened there. There might have been a miscommunication. There might have been something, but I'm gonna choose not to blame anybody and just say it's a bad day at the office. But if Juice was he said he's a free agent, but he was looking to be all elite. I'm not gonna lie there, T-Dub. He's gonna need to produce better results than what that shit show was.
He definitely will. This definitely not the worst match we've ever seen, but just easily the worst that these two have had against each other, and they've had much better matches. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. I definitely recommend those matches. And as you noted, Juice said he was a free agent. They plugged his free agency a lot on commentary. So, and it has been noted, I believe, by Fightful that AEW is interested in bringing him in.
Not a good first night, but if they give it a, I'd say give it a mulligan with someone else, and let's see what happens. If they're interested, fair. But I'd say for a lot of people who remember Juice as just C.J. Parker, that did not help that image.
Unfortunately, not. He's had so many good matches in New Japan.
He's had great matches with Moxley. So that was the fact that they laid an egg in that ring is not good. Not good.
MJF was in the skybox, and these are the exact words from Excalibur on commentary. MJF can cash in at any time.
Yep. So
they're going the Money in the Bank route, which definitely good for a heel.
It's the right move to do at this point. And of course, they were setting up Hangman versus Mox in Cincinnati. Good place for any to do it.
If you want heat, you beat the good guy in his hometown right after he wins a match. Like you defeat Hangman, he's victorious. Hometown crowd goes wild.
And out comes the firm to fuck everything up. He's laid down bloody because it's Mox. He's going to be bloody anyway. Max comes out soon and all, ring the bell, foot on chest, 1, 2, 3, new champ. Heat.
It almost feels like it's just too good of an opportunity to waste if you want that maximum level heat. It's almost too good.
And it's predictable, and you could switch the script around or whatever, but look, this is AEW. Yes, they do predictable, but if they do it well, it will still get a reaction. So it's a possibility. That's all I'm going to say there.
And MJF teased he was going to cash in, but Yuta walked out from behind him, and MJF was like, "Oh,
he's
the crowd's cheering me.
He's right behind me, isn't he? Yay, Devil Worshippers!" And I was like, "He's right behind me." But wait, the way they shot that was beautiful. By the way.
Oh yeah, he just appears almost out of nowhere behind him, and after a while, Yuta spins MJF around. They start fighting in the crowd, and I feel bad for the guy that landed on.
Yeah, that had to suck. Usually, when you say "yell, get out of the way," it's for the people at ringside, not for the people next to the skybox. So it's one of those oops kind of situations.
For that, we get a Bandito hype package since, Jericho pointed out in the promo opening the show that he will be defending the ROH World title against him in the main event.
And Bandito did not get a rematch because he was forced to vacate the championship. So they're wrapping a few bows up there.
And then we get a Saraya promo. You can definitely tell she's not used to having unscripted promos.
She was relishing the fact that she was having fun, that she got to be her own boss on the promo side. But T-Dub, I think it's going to take a few weeks for her to get used to unscripted that.
promo.
And she brought out the women's division, and it's like Luke Owen from Wrestle Talk. All the AEW women standing in a row. I'm like, that, and couple that with the lumberjack match, and I'm like, look, no. Wrong foot, guys. All the talent in the world, and you're using them like they're divas.
I will say this. This is the first time in a while, feels like we actually got a women's promo segment in the ring.
Which is fair, and Dr. Britt Baker they tried to class up the joint. Good effort, ladies. Have a steak. It's not helping my perception of the division right now.
Not too much.
It's not. Like, look, I know they're talented. I've been singing their praises, but now it's like you're wasting the talent with this. I'm sorry, they are wasting the talent.
I will say this, at the very least, they didn't put this at the exact same time slot as they usually do. This was on a bit earlier.
It still ran in. We had that same excuse on Wednesday, and then I realized, look, it started a little earlier, but the match still happened on women's match o'clock.
It actually didn't, because that's usually the.
It still happened on women's match o'clock.
At the very least, it wasn't the semi-main dead spot that usually is.
It was still. It's 9:10 to 9:30 is usually women's match o'clock, and you know it. It was in that. The chunk of that was still in that area. I'm sorry, T-Dub. It's not helping.
Indeed. But
you want to do something? Fuck 9:20. Put it at 8:20.
Yeah, I'll definitely say this. I would actually say open the show with it.
Please. You had a good pop with Saraya. You had it. You may as well.
I'll definitely get the crowd going.
They would.
And also
the talent's there. They want to wrestle. They want to throw it in there and kick all the asses. Throw them in there. Or have them open up the show.
My biggest problem with Saraya's promo, though, is she called Toni Storm the greatest women's world champion. But I'm like, if Hikaru Shida did nothing to you, Saraya, she's the greatest world champion.
Hikaru Shida, Riho, Nyla Rose must have been livid.
Like, to me, Hikaru Shida is the best because overall she had the best matches.
The best matches, and she did it through the pandemic.
Yeah, she was having the best matches in front of nobody. Nobody, empty arenas, and yet she was still putting out some of the best matches, just like Jon Moxley was. What Jon Moxley was for the men, Hikaru Shida was for the women.
Tell me you haven't watched the product too much. Tell me you haven't watched the product too much.
She was really trying to put over Toni Storm, but it felt a bit hyperbole to me, that statement.
Yeah.
Regardless, Toni Storm and Serena Deeb won't put on.
And by the way, for the record, we know of Tony Khan saying if you're in Florida, stay home. We'll stay home, stay safe. A lot of the people were out of there anyway, and the Japan situation did not help with the Joshis. But let's be honest here: if you're calling out the entire division, where's Hikaru? Where's Riho? Where's Nyla?
Well, we'll get to Nyla later on.
Yeah, of course. She's going to be busy with someone else, of course. But if you're calling out the entire division, tell them, hey, call time for that. Call time. She said all the division, you get the entire division.
This definitely felt more like faction warfare.
This felt like, hey, we have a women's division and we're over. We should have been past that last year.
Oh, yes.
Minimum.
But let us not dissuade the talents of Toni Storm and Serena Deeb as goddamn.
My complaining has nothing to do with the talent. The talent's there. I'm just saying, use it. That's all I'm saying. Use it properly. Moving on.
Yeah, like Toni Storm and Serena Deeb, they fucking, as usual, bring it this week.
As they should.
Like Toni Storm brought a Brett's rope pile driver.
And that was the finish. Brett's rope pile driver. A Brett's rope pile driver.
Like, geez, if you want to put an exclamation point on a match, that's how you do it.
That's how you do it. Like I said, fucking use them properly. The talent's there. They'll produce matches like that on a dime. Can't put them on that same segment week after week after week.
Following that, though, we get a promo from the Acclaim saying that next week is National Scissoring Day.
Oh, scissor me, daddy. Oh, scissor me, daddy.
Oh, we gain that next week as well as Friday. Well, at least yesterday.
As of yesterday, too. We had that yesterday, too.
Yep. Then we got a promo at the Andrade family office with Andrade running down Private Party. Looks like Private Party is doomed to leave this part of the organization of the Andrade office, especially after reuniting with Matt Hardy.
JC in the chat. Oh, scissor me, daddy. Excalibur talking to William Regal.
Ha!
Good one.
I feel like that'd be more Regal talking to a man in the mask.
Fair. But you know what? I'm not even gonna like that joke. Letting the joke lie right there. We could go deeper. I don't want to go deeper. Also,
and for our semi-main event, we got a squash match between Ricky Starks, pre-Ricky they call him, and ROH's own Eli Isom.
You know what? Sometimes you just need someone to get a good squash in, and that's pretty much what happened. So I got no complaints.
Then we get a Jack Perry Christian Cage promo package hopping up their feud.
You think Jungle Boy's pissed? I don't know if he's livid enough. Do you think he's livid enough?
Well, considering his two best friends betrayed him, yeah, I would say so.
I was goddamn joking, dude. Oh, sarcasm.
What's sarcasm? While I ponder that, let's ponder this. Next week, we're getting Danielson and Garcia versus Les Ex Gods.
Yeah, it's Garcia. It's a Guevara and Jericho, and that's gonna be fun.
Yep, Garcia
and Enigma says, "Bring back Marco Stunt." No, it's not gonna happen. I don't think Marco wants to come back.
TWK Sheldon from Splatoon.
I think he means Young Sheldon, the spin-off series from Big Bang Theory. I don't watch it either, so I wouldn't know the,
That. we had Jericho and Bandito in the main event for the ROH World title, and to me, one of the most impressive spots was Bandito holding Jericho in a delayed suplex for over 1 minute.
On the strength of that one move, Tony Khan went, sign this motherfucker.
And that's not done. Later on in the match, he did a moonsault fall-away slam off the top rope.
Dump trunk full of money.
Even though Chris Jericho did eventually get the win through nefarious tactics of grabbing the mask, poking the eye, doing all sorts of dirty moves. Juice, I believe, no, it was actually a lion tamer.
Yep, it was through the lion tamer that got the tap out. And JC said, sign Bandito, please. Oh, he was signed. Don't worry.
Yeah.
TK.
The moment that Bandito was on the stage hugging Tony Khan, I'm like, he's signed. He's signed.
He's signed. It's just a matter of where to sign that. Where the word. It's just a matter of putting pen to paper, and that's what allegedly happened. Yeah.
According to Fightful, it's all but signed.
Yeah, it's literally taking care of the legalities and the technicalities. But at that point, it's just a matter of time. Yeah, Bandito is all elite. It's just a matter of crossing the T's and dotting the lowercase J's.
See what you did there. Like it.
No, you say it yourself. May as well.
And of course, referencing old classic movie.
Yep.
And Jericho.
Oh yeah, and AEW's roster is too big. Sign this guy. Oh my God! Look, they got Ring of Honor too. And with Chris Jericho with the Ring of Honor belt, at this point, it's when, not if. If it's when they announced they got a TV contract at this point, because that thing's fucking signed. If they put the championship on Chris fucking Jericho, yeah.
I feel like the moment that Ring of Honor television becomes an official thing, at least a good chunk of the roster problem will go away, because at least a third of the roster will be moved to ROH.
I think most of them signed to be a part of Ring of Honor. They're just hanging out in AEW to get some exposure at the very least.
And Jericho, and it was I believe it was Jericho doing a promo, I think, or I can't remember how this was announced.
It was so he wins. He calls for Bobby Cruz, he's the ring announcer.
Yes. Bobby Cruz is in the ring, and Jericho talks about how he wants to fight all the former ROH World Champions, including Bryan Danielson, who he will face in Toronto.
Hey, Nuclear Convoy! I think you could start getting a little hype now. And after on Twitter was looking forward to the Elite showing up in Toronto, and he wasn't as hyped because of what happened. But hey, Jericho versus Danielson in Toronto. Hype. If I had a ticket, I'd be like, hell yes.
And then Jericho says he's going to take out every ROH wrestler, every ROH commentator, every ROH referee, every ROH announcer. And after that, Bobby Cruz starts getting scared. Like, what?
And it gets necked.
Yep.
Judas effect.
And he takes out Bobby Cruz to the dismay of everyone. Crowd did not like that.
No.
Because the crowd likes Bobby Cruz.
Bobby Cruz is good.
Definitely one of my favorite ring announcers. He just has that I don't know how to describe it. His voice is just perfect for ring announcing.
It is. And of course, then afterwards, there'll be Jericho versus Samoa Joe. And of course, he says Ring of Honor versus TV Unified. Do not unify the belts. No. Do not unify championships. You don't need to do that. Since
Jericho's fighting all the former ROH World Champions, we know he's got a match with Don Castle.
Yeah. Possibly Castle, Joe, Danielson. Obviously, that's going to happen in Toronto.
Possibly Roosh.
Yeah. He counts.
Of course. The greatest ROH World Champion of all time. Adrenaline in my soul. Back to one elite is Cody Rhodes.
He's signed to the Fed. Do not buy into Blampier's hype. It's not going to happen.
I'll buy into my own hype. Thank you very much.
Low-key can happen. Homicide, maybe. Austin Aries. Oh, sorry, Enigma. No, that's never going to happen. Kevin Steen, Owens is happy in the Fed right now. And considering what's going on, I'm like, I'd be hyped too. I'd be like, yeah, bet on the right horse for now. Low key can happen. Could.
Moving on to Rampage, start things off with a three-way dance match for the AEW World Tag Team titles as the Acclaimed defeated both Private Party and Butcher and the Blade to retain.
And a wonderful rap by Mr. Platinum Max Caster, by the way.
Oh, yes, and for those who don't know, when he was talking about the band breaking up, that's the Butcher's band.
Yeah.
Every Time I Die. There's a lot of drama behind that. It was basically the singer versus everyone.
Basically, yeah.
And unfortunately, the singer is brothers with one of the other band members, so it's especially ugly.
It's
So we
rough.
got
It's
we got
rough.
band drama mixed with family drama, so it's just really is unfortunate.
It's literally a case of Butch was just, all right, I'm gonna pack my shit and get the fuck out.
Not like it was just ugly all around. Just
Yeah.
I have no doubt that Butch wanted to keep the band going because he was a part of that band for over 20 years. It's really unfortunate, especially because
It's
Every Time I Die is definitely one of the better hardcore bands out there and great representative for New York. So it is a shame to lose them, but this match still kicked all the asses.
Oh yeah, the great triple threat. Acclaim, retain, obviously, but still fun.
And they didn't need Daddy Ass to do it.
No.
Did it all on their own. And then backstage, we got a promo between the Guns, Stoke, and Morrissey as, back on their game, the Guns screw up everything.
Yeah, like I said, they didn't screw up when it counted, but when it doesn't, it's back to their goofball bullshit.
And Morrissey was just in the back, standing there, looking menacing.
Kaki Dory.
Miss you, Shin.
Yeah, we do.
And then we get a Jade promo where she was talking all her shit and hyping herself up when she got a challenge from Nyla Rose. And what do you know? They're in her hometown next week. So it looks like hometown hero Nyla Rose will be the next victim of Jade Cargill.
Nigel McGuinness is retired, Enigma.
That he is. He is retired, and I believe he has hepatitis.
Yeah.
Although
Although it's under control, but it is the big reason why he retired.
Which is a shame because
Oh, JC, he's just standing there menacingly.
at this point, that's all he has to do.
Yeah. Then take a poop in Brian Danielson's M&M's.
Well, we'll see if that's all part of his plan.
Yeah.
However, one thing that's definitely a part of his plan is watching Lee Moriarty, a.k.a. Tiger-style Lee Moriarty, destroy Fuego del Sol.
Why do I get the feeling he wanted to come into Wu-Tang Clan? The Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
I don't know.
Because the beginning of the song says Tiger style, all right? Music reference. That's all it is at this point.
After the match, Morrissey walked into the ring and destroyed Fuego some more.
Yeah. Squash.
And then we get a Hangman Dark Order promo backstage where they're talking about Hangman's upcoming match, but out comes Andrade and his boys, and they challenge Preston Vance to a match in which Preston Vance's mask. But Preston Vance is like, okay, but only if you put your career online. So it's next week, live on Rampage, Andrade's career versus Preston Vance's mask.
Luchas de apuestas, man.
See,
You must be happy in your head place.
I'm actually sad because I'm tired of seeing Dark Order lose. It's making me sad.
I get the feeling that they're chipping away at it to get Preston to join the la facción ingobernable.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way. And then after that, Ethan Page and Stoke went up to Andrade and snitched on Private Party to them. You bitches.
Then again, they started as we don't want snitches. We're not snitches. We don't like it. But look, if the contract tampering and business and stuff and things.
And then we got Willow Nightingale versus Jamie Hayter, and Jim Ross was really putting over Willow Nightingale. Really. Oh,
Really trying.
Like you can tell, like she must be a favorite of the office at this point.
She should be at this point. I'd be shocked if she wasn't.
And you can tell because Jamie Hayter had to use every trick in the book, including lots and lots of cheating in order to win.
So we're not turning Jamie Hayter face now. Is that what it is?
Certainly feels that way, even though, like, it's obvious by the reaction, the crowd wants to cheer her so badly. This just feels like such a Vince McMahon move, honestly, of keeping her heel and just ignoring the audience. That feels like such a Vince McMahon move, which is so unlike what Tony Khan would normally do. Normally, he'd be like, "Oh,"
and it's all in the service because they wanted to get the heels to beat up people so Saraya could probably get the pop. And I'm like, I don't think it was worth it. Short term, no. And even JC thinks, yeah, Saraya thinks seems to have derailed that program. You think?
Yeah, it seems really unfortunate because, man, because at this point, my current feelings is Jim Hayter should have been the person to dethrone Jade Cargill, but looking at the way the women's division is set up, it feels like it should be Willow who is positioned right now.
Yeah.
Going by crowd reactions. When you go to, okay, who's the most over babyface that's not getting the women's title? It's Willow. It should be her by that elimination. What do you think? Should it be Willow?
Should.
All right. Glad we're here.
I got nothing to add to it.
Willow to TBS title. Do it, Tony. You coward. Let's see. And Jamie Hayter won with the Rainmaker Lariat of all things.
Yeah. That was a Rainmaker, folks.
Literally grabbed her arm, spun her around into a lariat. That is literally a Rainmaker.
Literally a waist lock into a lariat.
Following that, Hook just destroys Ryan Nemeth. He just poured her.
Right. Literally, we hear from Hook, and it's Ryan Nemeth taking a shit on Philadelphia. And literally, I had flashbacks of William Regal reading Shakespeare in the ring one night. And it's not as quick, but it's literally Action Bronson hits, and it's literally arrive, murder, leave.
Also, they never stopped playing Hook's music.
They never stopped the music either, which that helped with the effect. Because if you watch back on Austin Stunning Regal, music never stopped. It's literally stunner, leave. Just the murder took a little longer, but you know.
As Hook was making his way up the ramp, the Trustbusters left him a little business card in an envelope to join their team, but Hook, at least for now, ignores it.
No, all he did was pick up the envelope and left.
Oh, I thought he just ignored it.
No, literally, the platter was left on the stage, picked it up rather aggressively, put it in his pocket aggressively, and left. So he might just rip it up in front of the Trustbusters, which might be his next feud, which makes sense.
He's got a lot of people feud with in that group.
They'll keep him busy for a while.
And give him some good experience with some veterans. Then they showed some footage with Swerve Strickland at Rolling Loud Festival. And all narrated by Tony Schiavone.
Yep.
And you know that Swerve was quite angry at Billy Ass's interference with the tag team title match.
So was Keith Lee. This was brought up on Dynamite, as a matter of fact.
Indeed. Keith Lee using verbiage that is too advanced for me to remember.
Moving on.
And then we got a promo package hyping up Hangman versus Mox.
Hey, you know your match is in Cincinnati, right? Ah, shit.
Then we learn that Wednesday it's going to be Tony Storm, Athena, and Willow Nightingale taking on Jamie Hayter, Serena Deeb, and Penelope Ford, a.k.a. The Faction Warfare Continues!
Just don't put out a women's match or clock, please. Just don't.
Indeed.
Just don't.
And then we got a promo from Trent calling out Pac, because Trent wasn't too happy with the way Pac defended his title.
And at Battle of the Belts, Trent Beretta, Pac, All Atlantic Championship. There you go. Nothing wrong with that.
And then it's time for the main events.
Paycheck.
I just love the way Mark Henry always smiles when he says that.
He loves doing that. He knows it's like, I'm here to talk and do my one thing, and there's my paycheck.
And of course, Coach whatever talent needs help.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He's got decades of experience, that guy does.
Mm-hmm. But on screen, talk for 2 minutes, main event. Everyone pops, everyone's happy, and we go home.
And John Silver and Roosh, as usual, deliver.
The meat man, the showed up to work.
And of course, Jim Ross loves himself, the Meat Man.
He's got his favorites.
You always tell whenever someone's one of JR's favorites because he'll just put over their nickname and their gimmicks like no tomorrow.
The meat man.
It's Johnny Hungry! Tony, Johnny Hungry!
Johnny Hungry, the meat man.
However, John Silver was unsuccessful in defeating Roosh due to interference from the AFO. And after the match, the AFO decided, you know what, we're going to fuck up John Silver, to which brought out the Dark Order members that are still left. And there was a huge brawl, but they were outnumbered. So who could save them? But Hangman Page once again.
And the crowd goes pop.
And if you did not think that Wednesday was stacked enough, we're also getting Hangman versus Roosh. Holy shit, Wednesday is stacked.
They have an extra 15 minutes thanks to I think that's going to, Hangman versus Roosh, that's in Rampage, right?
No, it's Wednesday.
Wednesday, they got the extra 15 minutes for Dynamite, so that should be fun.
They might just need it with how stacked this card is.
Yep.
And that's all the news I have this week, unless you have anything, Matty?
Well, we got cards to look over.
Oh, that's right. Extreme Rules!
Extreme Rules and Bound for Glory, which is on October 7th. So we're going to do this chronologically, ladies and gentlemen, for the pay-per-views. For Impact, Bound for Glory, they're in Albany, New York at the Washington Avenue Armory. Matches read as follows. Brian Myers versus an opponent to be determined for the Impact Digital Media Championship.
It's pre-show. I was hoping that was going to be part of the main show.
Still, they'll still get a pop. If you're thinking Joe Hendry, it's free. Why not? Enjoy that pop. Sell couple more pay-per-views with it. Makes sense to me. They have a Collier Shot Gauntlet, which is an Intergender Gauntlet Battle Royal. Winner receives a trophy and a contract where they can invoke anytime within 1 year of the championship of their choosing. The people involved, PCO, Rich Swann, Giselle Shaw, Heath, Bhupinder Gujar, sorry if I goof it up, Bobby Fish, boo, Steve Macklin, yay, Moose, and Shamar Callahan are the announced competitors.
Yep, I was waiting for you to be announced. They want to have some surprises. Last year, they brought back the Kiss Demon.
Which that got a pop out of me when I saw that, to be honest. So, you never know.
Torborg is still in good shape.
He was. He actually was. To his credit. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, actually, the winner of this match gets their own Money in the Bank gimmick for their championship choosing. Last year, it was won by Moose, who cashed in the main event to defeat Josh Alexander in the most heart-crushing way possible.
The bastard. And Moose is involved in the damn thing again. Do not pull a repeat, goddammit. Anyway, VXT, that's Chelsea Green and Deonna Purrazzo. Sorry?
It's pronounced Vexed.
Vexed, okay. Vexed. It's spelled VXT, so that's But Vexed, Chelsea Green and Deonna Purrazzo, they're taking on Jessica and Taya Valkyrie. Rosemary's there. Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championship matchup, this one.
I think that Jessica and Taya could take the victory here.
For those wondering, Jessica with a K instead of with a K involved, that's Jessica Havoc. For those who don't know.
Yep, Jessica, and she has a K because it spells Jessica Havoc because she's sick.
That too. Also, Brentford Pile Driver Place. We need to see those. Mia Yim and Mickie James. It is a career-threatening match, 1-on-1. If Mickie James loses, she's done.
Yeah, it is kind of in one way fitting, but another way odd that she's ending her wrestling career in Impact.
She's had prominence both in TNA/Impact and WWE. So she had her return run with the Fed. She actually entered the Royal Rumble with the Impact Championship.
and they announced it as the Impact Championship.
Because someone at Talent Relations fucked all the way up.
They're like, oh, we released too many women. Whoops.
Need we remind our audience of the trash bag issue?
So it's just a whole bunch of bad things like, okay, how we're going to get her back? Oh, fine, we'll announce the thing.
That was Vince McMahon era shit,
and she was in the Rumble for a good, 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah. She hung in there. But yeah, Speedball Mike Bailey defends the X Division Championship against Frank Kazarian.
I'm having the champion retain here.
Fair enough.
Should be a great showcase, though.
Absolutely. That's going to be a fun match to watch. Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, representing Honor No More, taking on the Motor City Machine Guns for the Impact Tag Team Championships.
Whoever loses, the fans win because these are four tremendous athletes.
Yeah, we shit, like in character, we shit a lot on Matt Taven. Look, Matt Taven winning the Ring of Honor World Championship was a bad decision. He was just doing his job that night in MSG. And look, he's a good wrestler. So is Mike Bennett. And it's the Motor City Machine Guns. How could this match... If this match sucked, that someone had put an aggressive effort to fuck up.
Also, I think we all agree that it was the owners of Ring of Honor, I believe. Can't remember their name. Sinclair.
The owner, it was Sinclair Broadcasting, and Bully Ray had the book at the time.
I'm just like... It is always shocking that Sinclair kept Ring of Honor around for so long, but never really did much to elevate it. Like, they never really put it on in a really good time slot, and it was basically just there to be there.
It was there to be there, and they had the money to make it bigger than it actually was, and they didn't. But that's the past.
Hopefully, it's on the comment now. It can grow to higher prominence.
Jordan Grace versus Masha Slamovich for the Impact Women, the Impact Knockouts World Championship. Folks,
oh boy, this is going to be a war.
As we mentioned, Allie Katch versus Masha slapped. This one, if this one doesn't slap, money back guarantee on that one.
Yeah, these two are absolutely going to bring it. Just goddamn. Two hosses fighting it out.
Oh. Wait, JC, wait. How will Shin react if we get Jericho versus Taven?
Oh, he would lose it. He'd be like, oh, man.
I dare not speculate, but it is a possible matchup.
And I agree with JC. Masha is likely to win here. They've been building her up really well.
They have, and Jordan Grace has had a good run as the Knockouts champion, to be fair, so leave it up to you folks, but I would put some money on Masha. Personal preference on that one. And then the main event of the evening.
Wow,
Josh.
I'd like to note that Jordan Grace has been champion as of right now for 105 days.
Only, 3 months?
105 days. Previously was Tasha Steelz, 106. And before her, Mickie James with 133. And before her, Deonna Purrazzo with 343.
So we're right around the average here. Hey, we're only speculating at this point. And in the main event of the evening, Josh Alexander defends the Impact World Championship against Eddie Edwards.
This is going to be it's actually a tough call here because on one hand, you have Josh Alexander who's been holding that title for a good decent amount of time.
And another, Eddie Edwards. Whoever wins, it's a good direction to go to.
And also, there's one thing to keep in mind is the growing presence of Violent by Design. Perhaps one of them, Eric Young will find a way to win the Call Your Shot Gauntlet and ruin whoever wins here's celebration.
I still say just like Bound for Glory seems to be like the time where we're gonna fuck up the good feeling. I'm like, just don't for one night. Just linger on the shot of the champion raising hands and just fade to black and make people feel good.
That feels more like Slammiversary these past few years.
Like, yeah, but that still, Bound for Glory still has that vibe to it. It was their original version of WrestleMania. So for me, it's like, Why fuck up a good thing? I hate that they do that. I fucking hate that's a trope.
It's feeling more and more like Slammiversary has become their WrestleMania more than Bound for Glory.
Yeah, anyway. We could talk about it all night, but there's another card to look over. We would do this next week, but obviously we're off. There's only 6 matches on the card, but we'll just read them as they are. The projected main event seems to be the fight pit between Matt Riddle and Seth freaking Rollins, but so we will address that as the main event as is. Of course, this is going. We do not know what the main event will actually be because, well, Roman Reigns ain't around. But I'll say this right now: Extreme Rules with actual stipulations in every match. Hell yeah!
Are you saying you don't want your Extreme Rules pay-per-view filled to the brim with normal rules matches? And matches ending in disqualifications and countouts?
T-Dub, if I remember correctly, when the last time they pulled that shit, you were mad about it.
Oh, yes, I was extremely angry about it because it makes no sense. You're a winner tonight by disqualification at Extreme Rules.
So, let's just be happy that Triple H is actually putting Extreme Rules shit in an Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Let's just not
Crazy,
be pedantic, isn't it? Right?
Actually following the theme of the pay-per-view.
Let's not be pedantic about it. Let's just be happy about it at this point. We have not been happy too much about the Fed for a long time. I'd like the happy feeling to continue for just a little while longer. And like I said, it's still a rebuild. They could still fuck up things like, putting Logan Paul in a main event against Roman Reigns in Saudi Arabia. So, hey, I get why they're doing it. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I get why they're doing it. Anyway. Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey, Extreme Rules for the speaking of, for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Keep belt on Liv.
Yes,
I'm gonna leave it alone.
She seems to have a natural babyface feeling with the crowd.
They had a rough start with some of the defenses. They're redirecting goodly at this point. So fair enough. Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross in a strap match.
So is this going to be a match just using a strap, or is it going to be one of those 4 corners matches?
They have not made any advances as far as what the rules are. I'm assuming it's just a straight up pinfall strap match with both dudes with their hands on the thing.
Regardless, their backs are going to be all the fucked up.
Oh yeah. And the way they've been building it up, I think it is to be expected. Bianca Belair takes on Bayley in a ladder match for the Raw Women's Championship.
I think this match could be Bayley's to win.
Makes sense. No DQ. Damaged Katarl will show up and do their thing. That kind of match to do it. And by the way, I know it's Damage Control, but the way it's spelled on the Titantron and some of the stuff is Damage Katarl, and I'm dead set on making a Simpsons reference here. So there you go. Here's what I think. There are 3 matches that I think will be match of the night, or 4 if you count Bianca Belair versus Bayley. Finn Balor versus Edge in an I Quit match. Should be one of them.
Yeah, these two should beat the hell out of each other.
Edge wanted to work so much with Finn Balor, so I'm like, yeah, these guys are going to throw some passion in that match, so fair enough.
And I'm going to throw a shot in the dark here, and I'm going to say Finn's going to win. He's going to find some sort of devious, evil way to make Edge say, I quit.
Can't put my finger on it either, but that makes sense. And Judgment Day needs a big win, so only makes sense. Forgot to set up a particular button here because next up is a 6-man tag match, which is dubbed a good old-fashioned Donnybrook match. Basically no DQ, basically a 6-man Texas Tornado tag. But really, it's just an excuse for me to hit this button.
Big meaty man slapping me.
Brawling Brute, Sheamus, Rich Holland, and Pete Butch Dunne, Butch, takes on Imperium, Ludwig Kaiser, Giovanni Vinci, and Walter.
I just love the fact they're actually calling it a Donnybrook. That's amazing.
I love it. But then again, it fucking fits.
Yeah, these two teams, they've been having themselves a Donnybrook every week, it seems. So it only fits
Banger
that.
after banger after banger after banger.
And I have no doubt that's what's going to be happening this night as well. These two teams are going to beat the hell out of each other. And I'm, of course, calling Imperium to win. Keep that undefeated streak going.
Makes sense. Keep it going and just have 6 dudes just do what they do best. Nothing wrong with that. And what is projected to be the main event. Now, it's not officialized as the main event, but it could be because of the setup of the cage and all that stuff. It is a fight pit match. Matt Riddle versus Seth freaking Rollins. And they have announced the special guest referee. No, it's not Ken Shamrock.
Missed opportunity.
Not. Yeah. He said on Twitter, it's like, just call it the Lions Pit, Lions Den, and I'm in. But no. But, I think they got a good one. Daniel Cormier.
All right, MMA fighter. All right, that's
former UFC light heavyweight and heavyweight champion of the world. And of course, he's an analyst for UFC. Guy's good. And he's got some charisma on him. So, nothing wrong with that. That's a good call.
I would have preferred Shamrock.
We all do, but look, this is a solid plan B here. I'm not going to shit on a plan B here.
Regardless, I think Riddle.
By the way, they're in Philly. I forgot to mention Extreme Rules. They're in Philly.
Wow, Philly's getting a lot of wrestling this week.
Philly got Dynamite and Rampage this week, and they're getting next week. They're getting Extreme Rules. If I'm a wrestling fan in Philadelphia, I am happy in my head place.
Philly wrestling fans are getting their fill.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Riddle will end up getting the dub. The big old W.
Yep.
And I believe that is the Extreme Rules.
That it is, indeed. That is the situation. Of course, however you watch it, of course, enjoy it, all that good stuff. We only got one thing left to do. We got to do some winners and or losers, my friend.
All right, first loser this week, Crunchyroll.
Yeah, like there's so much stuff to discuss, to unravel there. What's your big reason?
All they had to do was have just one meeting, just the one. Instead, they fired their lead voice actor for Mob Psycho.
Yep, one meeting with this is because of a union situation. Crunchyroll fucking hates unions.
This acquisition by Sony.
It's weird. Last year, I was heavily considering getting a Crunchyroll subscription. Now I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, like this acquisition from Sony really is just tanking them.
It is.
Because first they get rid of all the free stuff. Like you can't watch anything for free anymore. No more free tier.
Oh, JC. Loser, I'm afraid I must give one to Luigi Primo, who as I've discovered, he is an anti-vaxxer. Look, I have family who are anti-vaxxers or, against it because they don't believe in it. I'm staying the fuck out of it. It is their personal decision, and we are at a point in the pandemic where if you get it and die, it's your own damn fault. But if you stay healthy and do the shit without having to do the thing and still be protectable and all that stuff, I don't give a shit.
I also have to give a loser to Hurricane Ian for, on top of all the damage it caused, ruining some wrestling shows.
For those wondering, and as you probably saw on Twitch earlier, the Shades was on a Cards Against Humanity stream. He and his family are fine. They're in the Tampa area. They got a whole lot of rain and wind, but that's about it. They were not in the hurricane proper, so to speak.
Yeah, thankfully. Yeah,
and with
on my end.
Yeah, on your end, you got some leftovers there.
Well, not only that, but the friends and family that I do have in Florida, they're all safe as well.
good. Yeah, the mostly people who got hit were people in Fort Myers, and Jesus, wow.
Yeah,
There's footage of that. There were sharks in the highway, man.
Yeah, don't try to go out to your local supermarket that day.
Land shark. Land shark.
Not worth it. You might think, oh, maybe I can just go out there and get. No, don't. It's not a good day to go grocery shopping. No, sharks.
Sharks in the freaking streets, man.
You don't fuck with sharks.
Dr. Evil shit. In a serious note, if there's anyone in Fort Myers listening to us, I doubt it, but if there are, please stay safe, and hopefully you are safe.
Yeah, hopefully.
And for those wondering, our buddy TJ Omega, he is safe. He got the power outage. Unfortunately, he's got in the middle of a blackout.
Funny story. One of my friends who lives in Orlando didn't lose water or power at all during that whole hurricane.
That's amazing.
And here I am, here in Virginia. I lost electricity for over 2 hours. And it wasn't even a hurricane. It was leftovers.
Yeah, big fuck off storm.
Sometimes I get all the bad luck.
And hey, at least it's only 2 hours.
That's true. But it did.
I came back from a cruise. Ottawa was in the middle of a fucking blackout, like a 3-day blackout. That literally power came back on as I landed in Ottawa.
Well, you got lucky.
We got lucky, but we lost all our food.
Fuck.
Yeah,
that sucks. But yeah, because of the power outage, I couldn't watch Rampage Friday night. I had to wait up until just a few hours ago to watch it.
You found a way to do it though.
If I watched it, took the notes down. It was just not as fun as watching it on a Friday night when I have a bit more time on my hands.
It is what it is, buddy.
Who you got for losers, Matty?
Well, I got two. The Mark who falsified Kevin Dunn's demise on Twitter. This was a rumor that was proliferated, I believe, on Monday, Tuesday, where Kevin Dunn is done. Kevin Dunn is done. It was a random website, which I will not give credit to because fuck them. Don't give me hope like that, fuckers.
This is why
they stated it was a source. They never outright said who the source was. And Meltzer, the head and the usual suspects, Meltzer, Alvarez, and SRS, they all said that's false. Fuck them.
Yeah, that's why you gotta trust the true source. You gotta trust the big names, like as you point out, Fightful, Wrestling Observer, PW Insider. Yep. If it doesn't come from them,
and they really verify. They try to verify that shit.
I'm sure they were just like, be true, please be true, please be true. Not true. Fuck!
Yeah. And Ryback, who decided...
what did he do now?
He was referencing the white rabbit thing, and he said, silly rabbit, tricks are for kids.
It's not you, bitch!
This is why I'm slightly disappointed we don't have Shin on, because...
Oh, he would have a good 5-10 minute rant about this.
If he had trouble finding a D-cell, I would have given that as his D-cell.
You know what? Add him to my loser list. Add Ryback to my loser list. There we go.
There you go. Let me see if we don't have Shin on, but I'm pretty sure he would approve in the pressing of this particular button here. And let me just get over here and
put your motherfucking head back down.
Basically, yes.
There you go. And that's it. Do some winners, buddy.
My winners this week are two people who a year ago, not too many people heard of them, but now they're on the rise. They are the next crop of talent that could be leading this company within the next 5 years or so. That being Tiger Style, Lee Moriarty, and Willow Nightingale. I feel like they're on the rise right now.
They've had Lee had a win, Willow had a loss. Both had good matches, so nothing wrong with that, actually.
That's my winners of the week. How about you, Matty?
Well, this one. Obviously, we have to give one to Antonio Inoki in post-mortem. That's just obvious and the right thing to do there. Let's see here. What are we? AEW, they had a good week, of course. We got to give them that as well.
I would say, all things considered, Considering the hurricane and all that, I guess it could have been worse.
They had a drop in the ratings, but a lot of it is just hurricane coverage fucked everybody up. Let's be fair. So people laughing at the drop, they went under 1 million, folks. Big fuck off hurricane happened. Stuff like that happens. Ratings are going to drop no matter what.
And I would say it's not their worst rating. At least they were still in the 900,000 range. So
they could have tanked worse. And for those who stuck around or were able to stick around, they had a hell of a dynamite. So
at the very least, they had a main event worth sticking around for.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of, man, Bandito.
And I agree with Nigma. Stop acting like AEW is on death's door.
Everyone's going to do that. I need to reference back to zero punctuation. You're going to bitch about it regardless, and you could kiss my you miserable fan, you've E-fed drone twat. But there you go. And Nicole Maines. Now, you said that, sir, for those that, wait, the transgender actress? Yep, the same. I follow her because she was Dreamer in Supergirl, and I like Supergirl. Don't at me. Well, if you want to at me, just whatever. I'll just block you. That being said, she's on Twitter having an off day, and I'm going to put the example in the Discord chat for T-Dub and all that stuff. She tweets, I don't know what came over me today or that day, but I'm here to fight transphobes. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, all right. And I'm just being nice and part chuckly. Hey, fat dude in a Power Ranger helmet. Hey, you need any help? She replies all the time. Let them know their time's up. Transphobia has no place in their society.
Fuck yeah.
She liked and replied to the tweet. I'm like, night, mate. Like I said on that thread later, I'm like, dude, I just replied to it just to be nice, just to be a nice guy, because that's what I usually am. And you know what? TW and I both know a few transgendered people, both in and out of transition. And
oh yes,
look, like I said, I always say, if it doesn't affect my personal life, I don't give a fuck. Do what you got to do. Be happy. And people are transphobes or homophobes. I'm like, well, no, fuck them. Straight up, fuck them.
I don't get the hatred at all. It boggles my mind. Something that doesn't affect you in any sort of way just makes you angry. It just confuses me.
So there you go. Matty Jay and the Dreamer tag team against transphobia. And hey, even better. Dream. Fucking Acclaimed. Make it an 8-man tag at the Acclaimed, the daddy ass in there. You can imagine the rat that would come out of Max Caster.
Indeed.
That just put a smile on my face. So yeah, Nicole Maines, Dreamer and Supergirl. She's acted in a few other things since then, of course. I gotta give her a winner for that. Good Lord, that made my day. That made my day. That's it. We're done here, ladies and gentlemen. We had a 90-minute show. Yay. We made it, T-Dub. All right, plug away. I know you got another video to plug.
Oh, yeah. Earlier this week, I have my review of Goemon's Great Adventure, a good 20-minute review of this N64 2D platformer classic.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just go get that link for everybody.
Yeah, he's going to get that.
Boom, there you go. Everyone in the Twitch chat, you can now watch that. There you go.
And, of course, if you want to see his Patreon, patreon.com/TWK reviews. Even a buck gets you in on seeing his next video just a smidge earlier than usual.
Oh, yes, and my next video will be the Halloween special.
Should be good. Should be good, sir. Should be good, sir.
I certainly hope so.
Of course, tomorrow we got the usual Toka Live. We're going to be doing that again. Looking very much forward to doing that. Tuesday, by virtue of Power Rangers Dawn of Fury and the last 8 episodes going on Netflix. I have binged it, as I mentioned. We're riffing that son of a gun. And there's Power Morphicon news. There's PulseCon news. We talked about David Yost appearing with Walter Emmanuel Jones on that set there in New Zealand. So you can bet your sweet ass we're saving that for the recap. We're looking forward to that.
It'll be a jam-packed episode.
We've had episodes where we've gone under an hour. I don't think we're going under an hour for this one. Lots of good stuff. Of course, Riff Zone on Thursday, and we're back here. We will be back here for the Wrestle-Cast in 2 weeks, so we're taking the Thanksgiving. But if you want more content with my sweet little voice and face on it, I appeared on... I woke up this morning expecting to do something that got canceled. Damn, go back to bed. Half an hour later, an old buddy of mine out of the NGT TikTok promo group comes to me and says, hey, you want to appear on a show for last minute? I'm like, cool, what's up? So I appeared on what is called, of course the link is in there as well, show is called Ring the Bell. If you've ever heard of ESPN's Around the Horn, basically the same format, but for professional wrestling. It's Big Mike, Prince Petty, Salt Monkey Mike, and myself are the competitors, and of course the Macho Fan Sandy Ravage hosts. I had a fun time doing that show, to be fair, and so it is the premiere. It will be at 11 p.m. this evening, Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So literally in about 25 minutes, as soon as we're done here, the link's in the chat. If you want some more me, that was recorded earlier today, and I had a good time. Also, literally got out of bed, so that's why I will explain the hat on my head, bed head, even with short hair. It happens. Beyond that, you can follow us on Twitter at Matty Jay 316, at TWK Official, and at Shintigercurl. We have our Streamlabs with the shirts and merch, the Wrestle-Cast@gmail.com. I should mention that we did get an email from Guts Masterson. So Guts, sorry, I guess we got too deep in their conversation there, but we did receive the email, so you get it. Not too many questions on this one. It should be mentioned that we want questions, not just a big block of text explaining the question. So just for future reference, just ask the question. You could give us a context in the chat, just for future reference. And for everyone who wants to do it, the Wrestle-Cast@gmail.com. The link, the address is on the screen as you see it. Beyond that, the tip jar, paypal.me/manag316. If you want to help the Shin, it's his Cash App and PayPal are on his Twitter at Shintigercurl. We're done here, I think. Yeah, I think we're done. That's it. That's all, folks. Enjoy next weekend. Should be fun. You're incredibly silent for this one.
Waiting for my cue.
Fair. I'm going to hit the button then. We're done here for now. We thank you so much for listening, and enjoy next weekend. That's a lot of wrestling to watch, so enjoy it. On behalf of Shintigercurl, who is not here, but would tell you that it is indeed dim sum time, and is probably enjoying some dim sum right now, trying to recover. And on behalf of my good buddy TWK.
Hey, you Jackman, want to be Wolverine again?
That's an extra winner. Deadpool 3, Wolverine and Deadpool. Fuck yes. That's 2024. It could not get here soon enough. My name is Matty Jay. Remind you to help professional wrestling. Help professional wrestling, sports, and independent promotion as soon as possible. We will talk to you next week. Not next week, in 2 weeks. What am I doing? I'm used to saying next week. That's what it is. We're off next week. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Until then, Toke Riffs tomorrow and recap on Tuesday. Fun times ahead. Have a good one. Have a safe one. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody. Bye.
are you a dick kicker.
Yep.
But you're also a squirter. That's right. Yano Toru is a dick-kicking squirter.
And you also...
Well, in Kobe, you're not gonna kick my dick, and you're certainly not gonna squirt all over me, because I'm gonna fucking maim you.
And you clearly, Yano, you clearly have perfect aim. Because Doc Gallows has the smallest cock in the world.
Fuck this! Mimo, come here!
So we're just done with phrasing, right? That's not a thing anymore?